Hello everyone, this is my first response video and I'm happy to have it be a response video to Dr. Taylor Marshall. He speaks of an Irish priest despairing over traditional young priests. You heard it right, there's an Irish priest despairing over the fact that there are traditional young priests up and coming. Here, take a listen. Guess what, Dr. Marshall? You are correct. Absolutely. And we all know it. All of those that are aware. Yes, priests are supposed to talk about sin so that we don't go to hell because our last end is the most important thing. Why are we here? To know, love, and serve God in this world so that we can be with Him in the next. That's the first thing we learn in Catholic Catechism. If you were raised in the Novus Ordo like I was, you weren't taught that at all unless you converted to learning the real traditional Catholic faith, the actual Catholic faith. Okay, here's what I responded. I said, Brendan Holbin, sorry, it's hard to call that the gentleman who is a priest who is saying that priests shouldn't be talking about sin to people, and how sad it is that young priests are doing so. So I said he's likely a communist or Freemason. So of course, this if you listen more to this video, and I'll put a link to it, you'll see he despairs because there are young priests who want to do everything the way the church used to be, like such things as talking about sin, wearing cassocks, and offering the holy sacrifice of the mass. So he's despairing because I believe he's one who spent his whole lifetime to destroy the Catholic Church, and now he's in his sunset years, and he's seeing that the young people are keeping the faith alive, and he won't live to see it destroyed, and that he failed. And I laugh at the failure of the devil. I'm not saying that Brendan Hobbin, or the one who is so-called a priest, um, is the devil himself, but he definitely doesn't serve God. And with that, I'd like to give some hope to Ireland. And I came across the fact that, well, when you think of Ireland, you think of St. Patrick, and hopefully you're thinking of the apparition of Our Lady of Knock. So I'm going to go into Knock a little bit. Let me show you a little bit what Knock was. It was an apparition, and this is kind of depicting what the apparition was. There were no words in this apparition, so maybe it's why some people don't actually know so much about it. But take a look. Ignore the Novus Ordo altar, or should I say table here, and the tabernacle put off to the side here. But the apparition was the first and only apparition that had an altar, had the cross with the lamb on the altar. Now this was in the late 1800s. And you've got Saint John here. You've got Our Lady of Knock, and well, Our Lady, and the color Our Lady of Knock is beautiful, right? And then you have Saint Joseph here. Now, what does it all mean? There were no words. So here it says, on a miserable wet evening in a meadow field outside the gable end of the Knock Church of Saint John the Baptist, a small church dedicated to all the nations of the world, there occurred an active but silent, meaning the figures could not be heard, apparition. The vision, as we see, which lit the immediate area with a brilliant light, included images of Saint Joseph, a crowned Virgin Mary, Saint John the Evangelist, and against the wall. Remember, see, this is against the wall. This is not just a table floating out there like the Novus Ordo have. It was against the wall. There was a lamb on a bare altar with a cross behind and above it, in the traditional manner found in churches before Vatican II. It was against the wall. It is, of course, representing Christ and the sacrifice of the Catholic Latin Mass of the time, codified at the Council of Trent. If you don't know the Council of Trent, go read the documents. You'll be amazed at where it says right there in a dogmatic, this was a dogmatic council, exactly what should never change. And it's where they codified the Mass, meaning they said this is how the Mass should be in time and perpetuity. Okay, that's just a little aside. Now, never before in history did the altar appear in a vision from heaven. Surrounding the altar were spots of brighter light representing angels, as in Genesis 1, and God said, "Be light made." This vision, mounted on an invisible platform over the tall grass, showed Saint Joseph with hands joined, face bowed, looking towards Mary and the altar. The Blessed Virgin with her arms held apart, praying to heaven. Add to this a vested and mitred St. John, superimposed between Mary and the altar, holding a book. Could it be he's the author of the Apocalypse? Holding a book, well, he is the author of Apocalypse, but could it be because he's the author of the Apocalypse? In one hand, while gesturing in a preaching stance with the other. St. Joseph, with his head bowed and glancing sideways, was isolated, separated by a mysterious black line, noticed only by a few of the observers and seldom mentioned in the books on the apparition. So this is, again, one of the pictures, and here's a brighter one. You can see, but how ironic that it depicts the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass, and yet it has the table and all the accoutrements of the Novus Ordo Church. All right, so we can ask for Our Lady of Knock to pray for us. This apparition, many people are saying it was to show that it was to come, that the Mass would be under attack as a sign of the end times. This is what I think some people think, and it as well. It basically says, "Hey, Council of Trent had it right. We are not to change the Mass, and it may come. It may come because this again in the late 1800s. So, what is there here? There is an answer. There is going to be a conference very soon on September 9th in Knock in Ireland. The SSPX hasn't had one there since before the shutdowns of the world. Yes, the world was shut down if you're watching this many years, but yeah, in 2020 and 2021 they did not have this conference, but it is coming back, and it's about preserving our heritage and ancient and timeless liturgy. And our Superior General of the Society of St. Pius X, Father Davide Pagliarani, will be there. I've heard him speak. I've met him in person. Amazing, great speaker. If you look at his eyes, it's so funny. He's a grown man, but he's got this like he looks like, I don't want to say like a baby, but like how the attractiveness of a baby, like how sweet they are. He has like very bright eyes, and he's very his mannerism is very nice. And because they say that babies are actually like what angels look like the cherubs. So it's like I feel like he's angelic like. Anyways, I only met him once, but I do think that you won't regret going to hear him speak. So this is the Eventbrite. I can post this for you all. There was also a website for Ireland, fsspx.ie. This is the Fraternal Society of St. Pius X. Ireland. In English, knock. So you can just put fsspx.ie/knock, and you'll get the information. It's only 40 euros if you register at the door. I wish I could go, but I'm here in San Diego, and I just found out about this. But if you're closer, you might want to check it out. This is talking about the Knock Conference in 2022. This is the video from SSPX Ireland. You can go and subscribe. Excuse me. So this is the homepage for the fsspx.ie in Ireland. So if you're looking for a Tridentine Latin Mass in Ireland, you can go to this website and you can find an SSPX Mass. And then if you would like to see some of the talks about from the SSPX Ireland, here's some of the videos here. This is a nice 48-minute video about the history of SSPX in Ireland. Again, I can post that for you. And then we've got Father Leo Boyle talking as well. So most of their videos, their comments are turned off, which I think that's kind of a bummer, because sometimes I need to feed back some things to them. So there are some of the videos where you can leave a comment. So I have to search for those sometimes to speak with them. But the point of this was to say thank you to Dr. Taylor Marshall about bringing up the fact that there are some old priests who don't really have a good grasp of the Catholic faith. A priest, of course, lamenting about the fact that we've got young priests coming that want to do their job. So here, you might want to hear a little bit. I mean, I'll link to his video, but you should hear this priest. Hang on a second. Oh, oh no, they want me to pay for this. Okay, anyways, you can go here and you can listen to the priest talk himself. It's pretty appalling. And it's like once you think that the Novus Ordo can't say something um, more devastating than you've already heard, then they do it again. So, in any case, pray for us, Our Lady of Knock. For all of you who never heard of Knock, take a look at it, spread the word. If you don't know about Council of Trent, go get the documents. You can even go to the Vatican Library Online and website Library Online and grab that info. I might put it up here. But yeah, this is my first response video. I hope you found it helpful. God bless the SSPX and God save Ireland. Saint Patrick, pray for us. Thanks a lot.